All right. My eyes itching. I thought I'd make this video really quick. It's not a complete video, but you know, I thought I'd talk about it. So, first things first. If you haven't seen the movie and you want to see the movie Civil War, and you don't want to have any problems with it, if you want to see the movie unbiased opinion with an unbiased opinion, then don't watch this video. I'm going to be talking about the movie. I'm going to be talking about the characters. I'm going to be talking about the plot. And I'm probably going to say a bunch of stuff that's going to let all, the cat out of the bag, so to say. So, if you're interested in Civil War, before you see this video, before you watch this video complete, go watch the movie. If you want to just know what it's about and decide whether or not you want to see it, then you can watch this. Okay? So, I'll leave you at that, and if you want to stop the video right here, I'll give you 5 seconds to worry about it. Okay, so let's talk about the movie Civil War. I've seen the trailers, and I've seen the spots on YouTube and stuff, and it looked interesting. I like action movies. I like cars exploding. I like guns going off. I like people fighting. I like complex hand-to-hand fight scenes and things like that. So, I decided I wanted to go see this movie because that's what I saw in the trailer. Now, I'm going to say, honestly, this movie was not anything what I expected it to be. I was thinking more that it would be focusing on the war aspect and the combat aspect of a civil war in modern day society here in America. But it wasn't. There was a civil war, there was fighting, there was bloodshed, there was combat scenes, there was death and violence. But the primary, what do you call that? The main plot of this movie was not about the soldiers or the war. The main plot of this movie is actually about, I want to say press, but not press per se. About these individuals who are, I think, freelance. I'm going to say freelance, but maybe not. They're press reporters. And they go into combat zones and do, all this reporting on different things. So now America is in a, what do you call that? A civil war. And I don't know what to call it. The rebelling forces, I think they're supposed to be Texas and California band together to create this rebelling force against the United States. Well, you'll have to forgive me. My allergies are shot. Ooh. Anyways, so these people, these press reporters, the main character is a lady, secondary character is a man, her friend. And hold on a second. What? Never mind, I guess. It is not letting me do what I want to do. All right. Oh man, you'll have to forgive me. Like I said, my allergies are shot. It is 80 degrees, windy, and dusty out here. So, the main character is a woman who is a veteran reporter from combat zones in, third world countries. Her friend, who is also a quote-unquote shooter, that's what they call a press photographer. They're photographers primarily, and they film war zones. They're trying to head to Washington, D.C. to see if they can meet the President of the United States, because apparently in the movie they're saying that the government has fallen and has been taken over, which I don't believe, but, that's another video. So, as they're doing their job, this lady runs into a young girl, 20-year-old, who wants to be a photographer, and I don't want to say idolizes the main character, but knows of her and is like, hey, you're one of my inspirations. So the young lady, the little girl, um, ends up embedding herself with these two veterans and a third guy who is, I don't know, I guess he's more of a Walter Cronkite kind of reporter guy. He's not an action guy. He's not he's an investigative reporter maybe kind of guy. And you could tell just by looking at his character, that's kind of what he is. So they're heading to Washington, and the young lady that they meet up with embeds herself with them to go on this trip. And the movie is mostly about this trip and the development of this girl as she learns to become a photographer in these crisis zones and learns what it's like to, look at these things firsthand. And they go through a complete character arc of, she meets people, she befriends people, and then it's a really quick character arc on this one section. She meets this guy. Well, she meets these two guys, and then, they're cool, and the veteran reporters know them, and they've known them for years. And so, they're like, okay, they're cool. You can hang out with them. And she meets the one guy, and they go off on a little adventure. But in the end, it comes to a head where she meets the people, she gets to know them. And then, unfortunately, they end up getting killed. And so, this little character arc of development where she makes friends and loses friends in these war zones and, realizes what's going on here and how dangerous it is. Then, she starts to develop her skin, her second skin or her armor to be able to do these things without taking it personal, without being afraid, without having to worry about things like morality or politics or things like that. So it's like the whole movie is basically a development of this girl's character through the fostering from the veteran female reporter and the veteran male reporter who teach her what, where, when, and how to do what she does. And she's a good photographer. She's a good field photographer. She knows what she's doing as a photographer, but she needs to learn how to take the pictures and how to, stay, I guess, objective. It's kind of hard to stay objective when you're watching these things happen. And then, they go through these war zones and they get hooked up with these different combat units, and they follow them along as they go to their battles, and they take pictures and they take photographs and record the events. And then, eventually they reach their goal. But like I said, the movie wasn't what I was thinking it was. I was thinking it was more of an action, Civil War fighting movie, which it was. There was a lot of violence. There was a lot of conflict. There was a lot of, war. But it wasn't about the war specifically. It was about these people and how they navigated this war and how they worked their way through it. Now, some of the things I talked about in this movie were really, I don't know. I say personally far-fetched. Number one thing is that the United States military fell. I honestly don't think that the United States military would ever fall to anybody, ever. Even if it is an internal conflict. Number two was that the government fell and that everything failed and that they were able to either run off or kill like the vice president and all these people and all the cabinets and everything, which I don't think would happen. I think we're a lot stronger than that. And then another one was how cities and states were taken over by militias. And it's like, well, again, I don't think that would happen. So, but, I think that in some aspects, the movie was very grandiose, and in others, it was very personal. So if you're looking for an action movie, it's not an action movie, and it's not about soldiers moving forward and doing stuff. It's more about people and kind of a morality battle and a development of their character in certain situations, certain stressful situations. So if you're into the subtext of morality in war, you might like this. And if you're in the, if you're into personal development in a movie, you'd like this movie. But if you're just looking for straight action and soldiers fighting and, then no. I would say this kind of goes, I'm not saying it's on the same level of, but I'm saying it kind of goes along with Full Metal Jacket in the characters development section. Okay? I'm not saying that it's a, super award winner like Full Metal Jacket, but it was a very good movie, and I did watch the whole thing. I did enjoy it, even though it did kind of subvert my, ideas. So I think the next movie I'm going to go to is probably going to be King Kong and Godzilla versus whatever, whatever it is. So, yeah, I will make a review of that movie next if you want to, if you want to stick around to see it.